Dingaan kaSenzangakhona Zulu, commonly referred to as Dingane Dingaan, was a Zulu chief who became king of the Zulu Kingdom in 1828. He set up his royal capital UmGungundlovu, and one of numerous military encampments or kraals in the Emakhosini valley just south of the White Umfolozi River on the slope of Lion Hill. Rise to power. Dingaan came to power in 1828 after assassinating his half-brother Shaka with the help of another brother Gardiner, as well as Mbopa, Shaka's advisor. They were traditionally said to have killed Shaka because of his increase in brutal behavior after the death of his mother Nandi. The assassination took place at present-day Stanga royal enclosure at UmGungundlovu. Dingaan built his capital city of UmGungundlovu in 1829 and enlarged it 5 years later. UmGungundlovu was built according to the characteristic layout of a Zulu military settlement. The Ikanda consisted of a large, central circular parade ground, surrounded by warriors' barracks and storage huts for the shields. The Izabaya was entered from the north. The royal enclosure was situated on the southern side of the complex, directly opposite the main entrance. The king, his mistresses and female attendants, a total of at least 500 people, resided here. The women were divided into two groups, namely the Black kaSenzangakhona and the White kaSenzangakhona. The Black kaSenzangakhona comprised about 100 privileged women, and within the group another elite called the Baya, a smaller number of girls, favored by the king as his mistresses. A small settlement was built for them behind the main complex where they could enjoy some privacy. The remainder of the king's women were called the White kaSenzangakhona. These consisted mainly of girls presented to the king by his important subjects. He also selected other girls at the annual first fruit ceremony. A huge half-moon-shaped area was included in the Black kaSenzangakhona. Here the women and the king sang and danced. The huts in the Black kaSenzangakhona were divided into compartments of about 3 huts each, enclosed by a 2-meter-high hedge of intertwined withes, which created a network of passages. The king's private hut was located in one such triangular compartment and had 3 or 4 entrances. His hut was very large and was kept very neat by attendants. It could easily accommodate 50 people. Modern archaeological excavations have revealed that the floor of this large hut was approximately 10 meters in diameter. Archaeologists found evidence inside the hut of 22 large supporting posts completely covered in glass beads. These had been noted in historical accounts by Peter Retief, leader of the Voortrekkers, and the British missionaries Champion and Owen. On the south side, just behind the main complex, were 3 separate enclosed groups of huts. The center group was used by the Abhaya women of the Black kaSenzangakhona. In this area, they initiated chosen young girls into the service of the king. Challenges of European advance. Some modern historians have assessed Dingaan as the king responsible for the decline of the Zulu military superiority in southern Africa. He was a popular leader among the people and came into power at a challenging time. The fall of the Zulu Kingdom to the European colonists might have occurred even under Shaka's rule. Numerous ethnic European colonists were entering the area from the Cape Colony, and they possessed guns and weaponry far superior to the Zulu spear. Rebellion. Dingaan lacked Shaka's military and leadership skills. Rebel chiefs broke away from his rule. The dissension was exacerbated by armed conflict with the newly arrived Voortrekkers. Conflict with Voortrekkers. In November 1837, Dingaan met with Peter Retief, leader of the Voortrekkers. In return for the recovering some stolen cattle, Dingaan signed a deed of cession of lands to the Voortrekkers. It is generally believed that Dingaan knew what he was signing, although he could not have had any formal education, and could not have read the contents of the document, nor could he have understood the concept of permanent land ownership. since it was not a custom of the Zulus to permanently assign land to individuals. On the 6th of February 1838, after 2 days of feasting, the chief had Retief and his diplomatic party killed. They had been told to leave the firearms outside the royal kraal. Suddenly, when the dancing had reached a frenzied climax, King Dingaan leapt to his feet and shouted, "Bambani Abathakathi." The men were totally overpowered and dragged away to a hill called Kwamatawani, named after a chief who had been killed there. Retief and his men were savagely butchered to death. It is alleged by some that the reason why they were killed was that they withheld some of the cattle recovered from Chief Sekonyela. The general opinion is that Dingaan did not wish to yield the land ceded to them in the treaty and mistrusted the presence of the Voortrekkers. At the same time, Dingaan's forces massacred Retief's undefended Trek party, about 500 Boers and native servants, including women and children. The Boers called this the Weenan Massacre. The nearby present-day town of Weenan was named by early settlers in memory of the massacre. In a further act of war, Dingaan ordered his army also to seek and kill the group of Voortrekkers under Andries Pretorius. The Zulu impis attacked the Voortrekker encampment, but they were crushingly defeated in the ensuing Battle of Blood River. An estimated 3,000 Zulus were killed, while 3 Voortrekkers were slightly wounded. Dingaan's commander at the battle was Ndililo KaSenzangakhona, overthrow and death. In January 1840, Pretorius and a force of 400 Boers helped them Pand in his revolt against Dingaan, which resulted in the latter's overthrow and death. At the Battle of Makongcho, many of Dingaan's own men deserted to Mpand's army. Dingaan had his general Ndililo KaSenzangakhona executed, and with a few followers he sought refuge in Nyawo territory on the Lubumbo Mountains. A group of Nyawo and Swazi assassinated him in Latiklu Forest. He was succeeded as king by Mpand, who was half-brother to both Dingaan and Shaka. Dingaan's grave is in near Ingwavuma in the Latikulu Forest, an hour's drive from Tembe Elephant Park. Literary accounts. Sir Henry Rider Haggard's novels Nado the Lily and Marie include versions of some events in Dingaan's life, as does Bertram Mitford's 1898 novel The Induna's Wife.